Hey, hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Live on KEXP at Home. Usually we have live sessions in the KEXP's beautiful live room. I'm in there right now. But of course, with the pandemic afoot, we got to get people where they live, literally. And right now, beaming in directly from his home, I'm very pleased to present to you Serpent with Feet.
Hello, hello.
How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm a big fan. Been following you since I first heard Four Ethers.
Wow.
And I was like, who's this guy quoting Rudolph Steiner with a ill voice right here?
Thank you. Many
Absolutely.
moons ago. 4 years, but many moons still.
Yeah, most definitely. It must seem like a lot of moons because it feels like there's been these transformations with every release.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're working with different people or kind of your subject feels directed differently.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in just a sec. I want to remind everybody watching and listening that you can leave questions for Serpent that we'll get to. So hit that comments if you got any questions. And Serpent, if you don't mind, let's get into that first song.
Okay.
All right.
It's nice to hear your voice again. I've waited all day long, even wrote a song for you. It's strange the way you make me feel. With just a word or two, I'd like to do the same for you. It's nice to hear you say hello. And how are things with you? I love you. But very soon it's time to go. An office job to do while I'm writing songs for you. Strange how a phone call could change your day. Take you away from the feeling of being alone. Bless the telephone. It's nice the way you say my name. Not very fast or slow, just soft and low, the same as when you tell me how you feel. I feel the same way too. I'm so in love with you. Yes, I'm so in love with you. Oh boy, I'm so in love with you. So in love with you.
Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
So that is a song by Canadian singer-songwriter Labby Cifre.
Labby Cifre, yeah.
And when I heard you were doing a Labby cover, I was just like, wow. And of course, Labby is a gay black man who sings with such tenderness about romance. Not just about that, but on that subject, it's absolutely gutting in a similar fashion to your own. What drew you to that song?
I think it's important to honor your legends, and he's definitely one of mine, and has been since I found out about him when I was in college.
Okay.
Like I was instantly that song specifically has been with me since I was like 18. So, yeah, I thought it would be a nice moment to cover it.
No, that's good flowers for the OG for sure.
Yeah,
And very appropriate during this time of social distancing and all.
Because you only got the telephone. It's like, bless all the telephones.
Exactly. The laptops, however we doing it.
Right.
I'm curious how you first got hip to Labby.
Well, I went to art school for college, and art kids will be art kids. And yeah, I think I was just constantly digging. Like I got super into Nina Simone in college, got super into Labi Siffre, and those were sort of two of my compasses while I was studying. So yeah, just being in college and exploring, really.
Right on.
Yeah.
I think I found out about him because he got sampled a bunch.
Yeah, he did.
There was a Jay-Z song I really liked, and I was like, what is this? And then there was that Eminem, My Name Is, and I was like, whoa, this is the same song. Okay, this is an ill cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that you're giving it up for, an under-heralded legend.
Yeah, just brilliant songwriting and his voice and just like, yeah, it's just all of it. I'm so constantly admiring his work. Can you hear me okay, by the way?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I feel like that's part of your bag that I've noticed. You like honor the people who've inspired you really out loud. You don't just incorporate influence like I've seen you talk about Brandy.
Oh, and I'm so glad now that she's everybody's like she's the vocal Bible, because just vocal sacred text all across the board, like whoever you pray to, the vocal sacred text. Like we include everybody in this. So yeah.
And I was reading some. You were talking about Cisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Baltimore. So
yeah.
That's Cisco is my national anthem. I'm just like, there's no summer without Drew Hill. There's no summer without Unleash the Dragon. Like there just is no. Like those must be played.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I just really appreciate that, because there's such a dearth of that, giving those flowers when people are around.
Thank you for noticing. I appreciate it.
Most definitely. I know in the past you've worked with people like Haxon Cloak on production, your label mates like Katie Gately and Oomph and Paul Epworth. He's worked with Adele. And on your latest EP, Apparitions, is with Wynne Bennett. And it just strikes me how intentional it always feels, the people you work with, just the sound, because it feels like you're bringing them into your world. I'm just curious about your process on how you choose your collaborators.
Well, that's a great question. I start out each process for the project pretty clear. Like many musicians, I think things are very visual for me. So going into Soil, I knew that I wanted things to feel very stormy and tempestuous is like the words I was using. And I think we accomplished that. And I was familiar with Katie Gately's work, and I love what she did with just vocal distortion and like taking found sounds and making them sound like ducks, and just like the things that she was able to do. I knew that was going to be really important to my project, and she was down. So and with Wynne Bennett, she and I both have a classical background, and we both love pop music. And like we have songs like Psychic, which we consider our version of a pop song. And I played it for a friend. He was like, "This is pop to you?" And I was like, "I guess." Like my version of pop. But I just Wynne and I both love we love a Bach prelude, and we also love Timbaland and Missy Elliott. So I think we're constantly in that space. And I think a lot of the legends did that, where they stood at the intersection of so many different musical realms. And that's something that Wynne and I have always talked about just as friends. So we're like, we should probably work together. So that's how it happened. It was very natural, but it was very intentional, because we both knew what our interests were musically. So it was really easy to work on this particular Apparition EP.
Right on. Well, speaking of which, should we get into one of those songs?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Serpent with Feet, live on KEXP at home.
used to stuff myself to the gills and climb this hill, then grin when the grass called my step heavy, my way to punish the earth for asking me to live this long. Some days I wanna run, run, run. Oh, so much is going on. Oh, so much is going on. Oh. And I look up today, and so much has changed. I'm better now. Ooh, I finally cut my giants down. I'm better now. Cut my giants down, cut my giants down. Ooh, I'm so much better now. Yes, I am. This hill, climbing this hill.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the comments here on the video. We got people from Wicklow, from Austria, from Portugal, Colorado Springs, Spain. Shout out worldwide. If you want to shout out any of your fans out here in the world, send in love right now. Somebody asked what your favorite track off of Apparition is.
Oh, my favorite track off Apparition, I would maybe say Psychic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
And Psychic kind of reminded me of kind of some of the like occult themes I first heard on your first in your first body of work. And you know, speaking of like kind of the transformations talking about earlier, going into soil, you had said something about, you know, why would I need a crystal ball when I can just read somebody's body language?
Oh,
you said that in some interview, and I was like, yo, wow, that's like very fitting to the themes presented in soil, which was, it felt like being within a body, literally, you know, it's vascular, or being in the dirt, being the body of the earth, you know, and just your kind of the self-awareness presented in your work and how you approach it, and the kind of personal process you show. It sounds like you're refining like yourself all the time through your work, which is not something we hear a lot from singers necessarily.
Well, thank you. I appreciate those compliments. You know, just
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What are you working on right now? I'm curious.
I mean, I'm working on music. I'm working on perfecting soup. You know, really trying to get better at making good soups, because soups, especially now, I think are good for you. Really so working on musical soup, working on soup I can eat. So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
You know what I found was really good for soup?
What?
I had a pressure cooker.
Okay.
Get one of those Instant Pots. That'll take your soup game to another level.
Oh, wow. Okay. I got to look into that.
Check it out. Just saying.
Sure. For sure.
Most definitely. Okay. There's a track you did that isn't on Apparition, Receipts with Ty Dolla $ign. Fantastic track. I was curious how that came about.
Yeah, Receipts is a really special one for me. It's one of my favorite songs that I've written and co-written. And after Soil, I said that I wouldn't write anything else until I moved to LA, because I was in New York before. And I knew what LA was going to do for me, because I had been visiting LA for years. And I knew that I wanted to be in a warm climate. Just as a Black person, I just feel like I'm a better human in a warm climate. Like,
yes,
I'm just a better person in warmer weather. So I knew that. I also wanted to experience myself in a less compressed environment. And I love New York and what it has done for me, but I was compressed. And I think a lot of the music reflects that. So Receipts was the first song I wrote when I moved to LA. And it was about feeling really loved and taken care of. I didn't have that. I mean, I guess one of the narratives people can have in moving to a place where you feel really lonely and there's no sense of familiarity or family. And instantly I felt like I had family and friends and people within and outside of the industry that were really looking out for me. And Ty Dolla $ign was one of the people that was really looking out for me when I moved here. And I think just like synthesizing all of that, I was like, I want to write a song about how I feel so taken care of by everyone here. And the question, like, who taught you how to love me? Like, was it the birds? Like, was it the clouds? Was it the morning fog? Like, what made you be so kind to me? Right. Was a real question I had. Because and maybe that's like some other pathologies, like, why are you nice to me? You know, but like that's kind of how I felt. And I played the song for Ty in the studio. He was like, I'm gonna get on it. And he went in the studio and just wrote and sang it, and I was just befuddled because it was amazing. But I was like, great. So this is amazing. Yeah. So I think it's definitely a document of my first few months here in LA, because we worked on that the first few months. And like after he wrote his verse and I added parts and it just became, and we added strings. So it just became much bigger than when it was just me and my vocals. So yeah, it's still one of my favorite songs.
It's an amazing song. It's an amazing track. When I first saw that, I was really hype as a huge fan of Ty's as well. I just loved how y'all came together and just the nakedness of the songwriting, you know, who gave you permission to see me and love me like this is just really, really ill. So thank you for bringing that.
Oh yeah. Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. Most definitely. Tell us about the next song you're going to do.
And the next one would be, is it a comma?
Yes.
Well, the next one I think is the contrast to Receipts, actually. Okay. I think I wrote that during a time being in Los Angeles where things were difficult. And I had to figure out where that difficulty was coming from. And I think one thing I'm constantly thinking about as a Black gay man is, what narratives am I subscribing to? What am I saying yes to? And why am I saying yes to it? And I think that's so important. Like I constantly think about, what ghosts am I allowing to my house? Like, and it reminds me, I'm also thinking about Sonia Sanchez's poetry book called Does Your House Have Lions? And just thinking about, what is guarding your house? What is in your house? What are you cooking in your house? What do your neighbors say when you cook? Just sort of vetting all of that, I think, is really important. And so for me, I was feeling maybe despondent would be the word, but it's like, why? And I don't think I want this anymore. Like I need to eject whatever this is because I don't think it's mine. And that's what it's about. It's like going through that arc of, I feel awful, but I don't think this is my own stuff. So let me let it go. And that's what the song is, basically.
I love it. That's a lesson for others in it too.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, well, let's get into it.
Okay.
I shut my windows and demanded a breeze. I'm wondering what's wrong with me. I'd like to be an open book, but honesty strides like a crook. I'm struggling to find a way. Someday Pretty soon I find my place. Life's gotta get easier. Can't carry a heavy heart into another year. Life has gotta get easier. No heavy hearts in my next year. No more heavy hearts. No more. No more. I pray for punctuation, Lord, be a comma, or better comma, or sweeter situation. I'm addressing wounds I cannot see. Someone else's speaks out of me. I know this pain is not mine, so why do I feel it all the time? Oh, life has gotta get easier. Can't carry this heavy heart to another year. Life has gotta get easier. No heavy hearts in my next year. No more. No more heavy hearts. No more heavy hearts. Oh, I will not carry them into my next year. I will not carry all this weight into my next year.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Is that Wynne accompanying
Yes,
you,
that
by
is
the
Wynne
way?
Bennett. Yeah, who I co-wrote and co-produced all 3 songs in the EP with.
Okay.
She's wonderful.
I love the sentiment of it's going to get easier and not bringing this heavy heart into the next year.
Mhm.
I think that's something everybody can look to as something to aspire to, you know, and to say to themselves. So I just appreciate you crystallizing that, both
Absolutely.
of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I see we got Brazil in the house, Argentina,
Lovely.
Chicago in here,
Hey,
San
y'all.
Francisco. Simon asks, what's your favorite soup? We talking about the soup.
My favorite soup? Ooh, I love a sweet potato and chicken curry soup. I forget
Ooh.
where I got it from, but it was like sweet potato, chicken, and curry. I haven't made it yet. I want to try making that yet next. That's the next thing to do. So I got to figure out how to do that. Yeah.
That sounds banging. That sounds fantastic. Somebody asked how you would describe the sound and style of your music.
I would say it's R&B with a spicy mix. It depends on the track, but yeah, I mean, I always just say R&B because I think R&B is such a spectrum, and yeah, but if you want to add stuff R&B with a spicy mix,
I like that. Sounds like the soup.
Yeah,
Soup of the day.
Absolutely.
I love how you're true to the R&B tag as well, and aren't trying to distance yourself from that. I see lots of, do you see a line between like soul and R&B? I see that discussion.
Absolutely. I just feel like maybe the difference between soul and R&B is that maybe it's just more like the placement. When I think of soul, I really think of like what happens beneath the feet, and R&B feels a little more like brunch, maybe, or a really sexy dinner night with your boo.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm oversimplifying, but it's definitely been important for me not to get lost in that narrative that people try to create for me, and not just impress, just people in general. Like, oh, well, you did 4 ethers and you're sampling things, and so that means that you're other. And I'm like, no, because even when I did the 4 ethers thing, my intention was like, what would the church boy thing sound like over this, you know? And even the chord progression that I looped was very intentional. Like, this sounds like deacons marching in church, like boom, 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 boom. Like, that to me is just all straight up going to the altar call for me, you know. So I think I'm always looking through that R&B gospel prism. You know, I think I was like, I have different experience, like I've done boy choir and whatever, but I was still, they always let me know when I was in these classical spaces that I was a Black boy from Baltimore. So you know, I'm always thinking about that. I mean, people can call what they want, like I don't get so hung up on that, but for me, I'm always thinking about R&B.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate how your practice of rejecting narratives, how thorough that is. You know, I really like how your church background, your background from being around your parents' bookstore. I got that right?
That's my dad's bookstore. Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a part of your writing. But you never fall into this narrative that has dogged so many R&B and soul artists of like this tortured, I'm not a part of the church anymore. And you know what I mean? That's kind of, you know, put a stake in so many legends before. I like how you were like, this is all part of me. It's all part of my soup, if you will.
Yeah. Soup is definitely our word of the day.
I like it. I like that.
Me too. Yeah, and I think
that's today.
Because I think it's all a discipline, you know, whether your religion is karate or capoeira or Pentecostal church or the Baptist church or being atheist or whatever. I think it's all a discipline, or it can be a discipline, or it can all just be a prism. And I think the church has given me so much language and has given me such a strong spiritual compass. And I think it would be counterintuitive to reject it. And also, a friend of mine once said, you don't crochet or make a new blanket every winter. You use your old blanket, and you might get new ones, but you hold on to that blanket. So like, what would happen if you bought new clothes, new shorts every summer? You're just wasting money. I was like, that's such a great analogy. You know, it's like, I may not need, you know, I could leave it there, but it was such a great moment for me when she said that.
I love that. Yeah. I'm appreciating your insight as much as your music during this session. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's get into your favorite song from the Apparition EP.
Yeah.
Psychic.
Yeah.
My debonair soothsayer, you read me with such flair. Those who dread prophecy must not know how hot it can be. My debonair soothsayer, you read me with such flair. Shame on those who dread prophecy. They must not know how hot it can be. I fell in love with my psychic. He sees my future and he sees me. Maybe we're meant to be. I fell in love with my psychic. I know I did. My sweet, sweet mystic. Are your lips too deep for kissing? Heard the moon's acting brand new. Does this mean I belong with you? My sweet, sweet mystic. Are your lips too deep for kissing? Heard the moon's acting so brand new. Do I belong with you? With you. I know I fell in love with my psychic. He sees my future and he sees me. I think we're meant to be, because I fell in love with my psychic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He sees my future and he sees all of me. All of me. My sweet, sweet psychic. He's been so sweet to me. I think we're meant to be, just me and my psychic. Sees my future and sees me. I love my psychic.
Stunning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I see we got Denmark in the house.
Hey, Denmark.
Somebody hopes you'll start tweeting recipes.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm definitely down for the cooking moment.
I think people want that. Might be time for the channel.
It might be time for the channel. Hey guys.
Not the hey guys. Yeah, you got to do it. Industry official.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you for doing this, letting us into your home, sharing this music. It's fantastic. You got a voice like no other.
I appreciate
it. Most definitely. Look forward to having you back in the live room once all this is over.
Yes.
Most certainly, and looking forward to your next works.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words and support and love and all that. I appreciate your warmth.
All day. Absolutely. Thank you for the insights on the music and your process and all that. Yeah. So, till next time.
Till next time.
Till next time. This is live on KEXP at home. This has been Serpent with Feet right here on KEXP.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.